welcome to, I believe this is episode 5 of Forever Winter, a mini campaign using Shadows of the Demon Lord. Last time on Forever Winter, the group consisting of Ruthor, Constable, Tulip, Mipa, and Gazik traveled away from their home of Slippery Stream to the witch Morgana. They left their home because one of their own, Faedren, the old warrior and Tulip's adopted father, had fallen ill. The witch knew of one remedy that could help him, and this was located deep in the bog. The group went there, finding horrors, dead men rising up. They fought these creatures, these wraiths, and were able to defeat them, and took this holy water away to hopefully heal the hurts of Faedren. It took several days to reach Slippery Stream again, and by that time Faedren was near death. When they gave him the water, he choked it down, but it appeared to be too late, and all their sacrifice and travels were for naught as Faedren died in Tulip's arms, passing off a small handwritten note to her. When Tulip read this note, she immediately fled the town, running out into the woods to her favorite spot, a stream, a small waterfall, cold water that came from the mountains and the other melting snow. After her was Ruthor and Constable, chasing her down, unaware of why she was making her way into the woods so quickly and in distress. And I'll let you guys take it, and I'll let Tulip set the scene as she's been here for a while before you guys arrive.
So, Tulip sits on her favorite rock, kind of between streams, is watching the water fall down, the kind of mini waterfall. She's picking up rocks and kind of chucking them half-heartedly into the water below, just watching them splash. And she's got the note crumpled up in her other hand. And as she reaches down, kind of pats her side for another rock and realizes there isn't one there, she looks in her other hand and looks at the crumpled up note. And she pulls it again, still angry and confused and hurt, just sad at what was written. She unravels the note again and reads it over and over, still not able to fully grasp what was said. She again crumples the note in her hands and puts her knees up to her chest, rests her arms on her knees, and just puts her head on her arms and looks out into the water, just trying to process what's going on. Everything kind of swirling, just leaving her kind of deadened and emotionless as she sat there.
Ruthor and Constable, you see Tulip sitting on a rock next to the small waterfall brook here. You can go ahead and make your way in.
Ruthor, having seen her storm off, he's not gonna say much. He's gonna walk up next to Tulip and struggle to sit down, old bones. What is wrong, child?
And she looked back down to her hand again, over her hand, and fidgets with the note. You remember why we originally left home?
Yeah.
I lied when I said I saw beastmen in the woods. There wasn't any. I just wanted Faedren to leave.
Why?
Because I thought if we started maybe going north, could maybe find out more about my people. What happened to them, right? And she, again, fidgets with the note. But gonna happen. Never gonna happen. They're gone.
What makes you think they're gone?
And Tulip kind of opens her mouth and is unable to really say anything and takes the crumpled note and passes it to Ruthor.
Ruthor is just gonna... He's gonna open it.
You have a handout now. It says note from Dad.
I don't know how much Ruthor would be able to read of it.
That's a good question. How much can he read? He cannot read.
Yeah, Constable is kind of there. He's been watching from the shore, and as he sees Ruthor kind of trying to make heads or tails of this note, he kind of... There's a bit of a, like, the hiss of steam as some of it splashes up onto his core and everything as he slowly starts wading out, seeing that it isn't, particularly deep. As he offers a hand, if Ruthor wants to let him read it.
Ruthor, as he's staring at it, look over at Tulip. Do you mind if I have Constable read it to me?
And she shakes her head and kind of further buries her face in her arms, just having her eyes peek over and just not staring at Constable or Ruthor, just still out of the water.
And with that, hand a note to Constable. Please, if you can.
Of course. Yeah, he looks it over.
Do you have the note?
Let me see. Would it be in handout?
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
Quick, note from Dad.
No, I don't have it in mind.
I click show to player. Okay. How about now?
Yep. This is justice for my past, for what I have done to you and your family. I was a mercenary once, a lifetime ago. I fought for coin. And Constable kind of pauses there for a moment as he reads the next passage and kind of looks to Tulip. Kind of the kind of light that burns in his eyes, a little bit dull as he kind of looks back to the note and starts reading again. We killed many, both innocent and not. And there was a settlement of halflings that my company put to the sword. I am sorry. I found you in a basket, squalling in a panic, with no family left. That day, I changed my life. I took you up and never looked back. I wanted to lead a life of peace. But this curse has spoiled my plan. Never give up, my girl. Never turn your back on your friends. Do not be afraid to love. And he pauses again. Listen to Ruthor and Constable.
I see now.
Yeah.
You see Constable kind of, with his kind of jittery, mechanical motions, folding up the letter as best he can and handing it back to Tulip.
And she reaches up again and takes it. And she looks at it once more, reading it herself, before crumpling it up in her hand again.
You know, you get to pick your friends. You don't get to pick your family.
Well, never really got the chance.
No. Cruel things happen in the world. I remember the day when we found you guys. Waiting, wandering for days. You're the first truly civilized life we came across. And we couldn't help but take you in as part of us. But to me, there wasn't anything to pick. It was automatic. And now we're here together. He may have been a bad man once before, but he helped make you into what you are now.
But I feel like this. I wish I didn't have to wait until he was dead to find out. I mean, what am I supposed to do now? I can't tell him how I feel. I can't react to this. I can't be angry at him because he's dead. And He's gone. And selfish. Because he can't see how in pain
There's a
I
hand
am.
suddenly on Tulip's shoulder. It's at first quite cold, as the feeling of metal kind of sets in, but then there's this sort of pulsating warmth coming from it. He was afraid of you, what you would think, because he cared.
I know he did, but I don't know what to think now. I'm confused and angry.
It's good to feel emotions. Unless you know there's still life out there.
I'd rather have not felt this.
I understand, child.
What was that?
Behind you, you hear up the stream some sound of water splashing heavy. And then, as you kind of crane your heads to turn back, you can't exactly see, but then you hear a smaller pitter-patter in the water. And suddenly you see this stunted creature. Looking like this. He is not as tall as Tulip. He is has a beard and bald head and pointy ears, and he appears to be running in your direction. And I'll let Rogue take it away.
Out of the gnome bushed out of the bushes there. Hurried, totally freaking out. And then notices you all standing there. Big teeth, nappy hair. Holy crap. They're over there. He points off behind him, something pursuing him, and kind of runs and gets behind whoever the biggest is there.
Thank you, Thor.
What the way?
Yeah, Constable looks. Well, I mean, he can't really look confused. So it's kind of just this kind of burning metal glare towards the small creature, then off in that direction as the sound of his sword being pulled out kind of rings through the area.
Ruthor is gonna slowly struggle to stand up. What do you see, Constable?
You don't see anything yet. Whatever is getting closer and closer, though, as it's splashing through the water.
Something comes.
It's you there. Small orc. What is chasing you? I am no orc. They're ogres. Ogres. There's 3, I think. 3 of them are following. Constable, the small orc says there's 3 ogres coming. I might do best to hide. You go ahead and take care of them. Small.
You wish protection.
Yes. I need protection. Let me get my magic ready.
Constable looks to Tulip and then the smaller creature. Very Well, he looks to Ruthor then. No reason not to.
None.
Finally,
And then kind of.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
No, good.
No, he was just gonna lean down to Tulip. Now is the time. Your stress must find release. Find it in the fire of battle.
And Tulip nods, and she kind of wipes her face with her sleeve. And as she gets up, she takes out her bow and knocks an arrow, looking towards where the slashing sounds are coming from. And she looks over to Dimble, kind of hiding behind Ruthor.
I'll protect you.
And Dimble nods over and over as he's starting to, I guess, fumble through his spells. If he has parchments or books or anything, he's going through them frantically.
Yeah, he has a grimoire. I was using the wrong token, sorry.
Very well, ready then.
I'm not sure how much books are gonna help you.
He can throw the books at them.
As you're standing in wait of these 3 gigantic creatures, you see 3 of them approach, large, huge even. One carrying a massive 2-handed blade, one a warhammer, and one a morning star. Back to back, they come down the stream. You hear one, "Ah, there's good eats! Oh, look, there's more of them! Get them, Gatar! I'm hungry!"
Ruthor, not being a smart orc, he's gonna yell back. Advance no further, friends, or you shall get no quarter.
They all kind of start laughing in unison, doubling over. Who looks the tastiest? The girl, yes. You give us the girl, maybe we only kill another one of you. That middleman looks no good. Can't eat that. Eat the others.
You want the girl, you're welcome to come and try to take her.
Let me just close my eyes and fire. And
Tulip gives a little bit of a smirk.
Looks like we're eating, boys. Alright, so for those that need a refresher or don't know, combat works like this. It's pretty simple. You guys always go first, for the most part. You get you declare either a quick or a long action. Basically, a long action lets you move and then do something, attack, cast a spell. Those are the most common things. Or just a quick action, which lets you attack. The difference is all the quick actions go first. That basically you go first, and then your quick actions go first, then their quick actions go next, and then long actions go. You're at long actions, then their long actions, and that's the way it works.
And all long actions are spells, or spells are all long
no,
actions.
No, spells
No.
should be short actions. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So,
Yeah.
so it's all broken up into actions, moves.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically
so-
you have an action and a move, and if you take a short action, you can do one of those. That's basically how it works. And if you take a long action, you can do both.
Cool.
That makes sense. And you can choose who goes first. It's up to you. You're up. Use the ruler to see kind of how far you are, and your speed is how far you can move. If you're wanting to do that, you can go from the base of your token if you like. The way I've been doing it so far is if you're going to do a long action, Just set yourself with a red bubble if you're going to do if you're going to do a short action, do a red bubble. If you're going to do a long action, do a blue bubble. And we all do this pretty much simultaneously.
I forget how slow Constable is.
Okay, so you are all going quick. So go ahead, someone choose who's going first.
Top to bottom.
That's fine.
Yeah, we can do that.
Sure.
Alright. So Ruthor was already messing with his bow and an arrow. Takes a look at the closest one. Draws back in. And lets an arrow fly towards the big wolf's head.
Okay. That's a hit.
Nice.
Bleeding attack. Yeah, so it is a bleeding attack. So you do an extra d6. Go roll a d6. And you beat the target. 5. Yeah. So he's gonna take. He's gonna take. Where'd you roll? 2. He's gonna take 2 damage for 3 rounds. Oh, 1d. Roll 1d3. One additional round. So 5 damage. Let me check this thing. But okay. So 5 damage. So he'll take 5 damage now. So you shoot him, and it kind of like sticks into his thick skin. And he's like, ah! And you see that you shot him pretty good, right? It's kind of bleeding, but his thick skin kept it from being too bad. Use your token macros for stone blades. That Dimble, because it'll roll all that damage and stuff automatically. It's in your second row.
Okay. Sorry.
You're fine.
Oh, good.
Can I focus it on Gersk? There is this and use the stone blades.
It's an AoE.
I think it is an AoE.
Yeah,
Mhm.
link shards, everything in the area.
Yep, you can.
It'll have range, radius, all that on it anyway.
And no boons or anything alters.
If you had a boon, it should already be set in there.
Okay.
17. So this is versus their agility, right? So he makes an agility challenge roll versus your attack. Nope. So that guy takes 7 damage. That's a 3-yard cone. So you got to point it one way or another. Which way are you going to point it?
I'll go forward
So
towards us.
okay, that's what I thought.
Towards
Yep. So he'll
his car.
yeah, he'll make it 2. Nope. So they both take 7 damage automatically. Failure
And
creature.
Dimble will shout, "You can eat this!"
So yeah, so they both take bleeding damage too, actually. So that's gonna add his to 5 and his to 4. Oh, what's wrong?
Suddenly have a bunch of bleeds, man. That's good stuff. More dots.
Yeah, these just, how does that look as these stone shards just go flying into them?
Dimble hiding behind Constable's leg, probably. Finally, fumbling through the spells, grabs the one he wants, and his eyes light up and eyebrows raised. Fires the spell out, throws it out like he's got a firecracker in his hand or something, and gets all excited and says, "You can eat this instead of the girl." And starts laughing with all the power coming out of his hands.
Magic. Okay, Constable.
Yeah. So I guess Constable's up. So yeah, he begins to get kind of a running start as suddenly you guys see him just stomp a foot real heavy on the ground, and he just goes soaring up in the air, fire trailing from his feet, as he then lands upon them with Mountain Fall.
Okay. Each creature you grab must make agility. Okay. So they need to make an agility or get hit. Alright, so we'll all do agilities. Versus whatever their agility. Good, that's what it is. Definitely a miss. This guy is getting creamed. Okay. This guy is hit and falls over. Let's do this. This guy is hit. What's the radius of Mountain Fall?
4 yards.
4 yards, so I hit these two. That's a success.
There we go.
That didn't hurt him. Okay. So how does it look as it knocks one of them down and just rocks him against a tree?
Yeah, as he kind of begins to trail, it's like it's kind of that appearance of like a meteorite falling down. There's that like burst of air and flame coming from him as he crashes into the ground, cracking some stone off into the river and kind of sending a small shockwave out amongst them, sending one of them reeling over, knocking him off balance.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ooh.
And Tulip knocks an arrow and grits her teeth as lets one fly towards his ka. Oh, do I have an auto boon? Oh, okay.
Yeah, if there's a 1 in there, you have a from some talent or something.
Ugh.
That's a miss.
So Tulip's still being distracted.
Aw.
Focus, Tulip.
Trying.
Poor Tulip.
This is good. Pulls himself off the ground.
This is gonna hurt.
Metal man! And he just swings his two-handed sword down on you.
Ooh. That'll do that.
Yeah, it just rips into your metallic armor and just rends some of it.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes flying off.
Yeah, you guys see Constable take a pretty heavy hit right off the bat.
And this one, take care, middleman. I go for these. Remind me, Kurt. A sprint is just double speed? Or?
It should be double
That's
movement,
what I
yeah.
thought,
And if they're going slow, they can still do a normal move as well.
Okay.
Because it's an action. They can go 3 times.
Okay. And this one's like, he's doing the same thing. Okay, so we're to the next turn. Go ahead and they're going to take their damages right away, so I don't forget. one last because one of them went away. Okay. So these guys are bleeding badly from the stone blades, particularly.
Nice.
And now you can pick either quick or long again.
I'll be going quick. I got a present for these guys.
Dimble will remain red.
Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, if you guys want to let me do the thing quick. See Constable kind of raise his blade and then kind of bring it down and make one wide kind of slash as you see light beginning to burn from the blade as it bursts into flames and sends a wave of them forward over these guys.
Okay, that would hit them all. There's everything. Okay.
Roll low.
Agility, here
Gosh,
we go.
it's 2 1s. Man.
Success. 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 I take 4 damage each.
Oh, are you inverting it?
They should roll low to succeed, right?
Oh, no, high because they get the modifier or whatever agility.
Oh, that's right. What am I thinking? I'm sorry. So they all fail, so I'll take 8. It's been a while. Sorry.
It's no. Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
The blending of the systems.
Yeah.
I know. I've been like racking my brain over to Genesis, and it's like everything is suddenly not D6s. What?
Yeah, these guys just go up and it just like scorches their body, burning their flesh and what small clothes they have on. Hazak like grabs his metal helmet and flings it off as it's so hot and burning his skull. Metal man, you will die.
You might.
Yeah, it's fairly common. They're not common, but you would know what a clockwork is.
Okay.
Ruthor, seeing the other big one was charging before he's being engulfed in flames, and seeing him turn away to look at the metal orc, is gonna let loose another arrow at Gersik. Well, not another arrow, but let it in the arrow. Hoping that since he's off guard, it's gonna do some good.
That's definitely a hit. And it's gonna bleed again. We first take 7 damage. 6. And go ahead and I'm gonna do an agility roll. Yep. So, but it does an extra d6 anyway. Right? Oh yeah, nice.
Sweet.
And then give me, or if so give me a 2 d3s.
Oh, you rolled a 1. Reroll it.
Yay!
Tulip powers.
All right. I like Tulip powers.
I forget how great halflings are.
You're welcome.
So that's a all right. So that's another bleed effect for the first one. In here, so that's 4 on the bleed effect. Go ahead and roll it again. For how many rounds that 4 is?
Oh,
Nice.
Man, those Tulip powers are kicking in
Oh,
high
actually,
gear.
you rolled 2d. Oh, never mind. That was not. So it's actually 6 bleeds for 2 rounds.
Yeah, someone said it's only.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so I believe Dimble is up.
All right, Dimbles sees they're getting close. He's getting close. And he is going to try to throw an erratic bolt at the first one there.
Oh, I've never seen chaos magic in play, and I'm very happy to.
Oh, there's a 1.
Oh my.
Oh, but you failed anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So against his agility, so it's a miss. So it just goes flying overhead. Did you roll a 6? No. Damage or anything? No. So it goes flying overhead and just kind of smokes the
bouncing on the
tree.
trees.
Yeah. You just see smoke coming up from the trees.
He's getting more and more panic. Getting close.
Tulip.
Tulip's more frustrated now and aims again, but she aims at Gursk this time. Maybe since he's closer, she can hit. Oh. What's the target number?
That's definitely a hit. The target number is 15.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely triggers extra.
Exploit opportunity. Once per round, when the total of your attack roll is 20 or higher and exceeds the target number by at least 5, you can take another turn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Any point
yeah.
for the end of the round.
So that's
Nice.
4 damage, and then if you want to shoot again.
Oh yeah, so it's a bit happier now that she's actually hitting, and so much so that she just decides to attack again, but...
Yeah, I don't understand why the other
Fortunately.
sounds aren't working. That's the bow. Yeah, the first one just sticks right in its chest, and the second one just flies wide as she's kind of quickly getting another arrow out to go. Alright.
All right, big boy. Let's see if you two-shot me.
Right. "Ah." And you, just so you guys know, you have 1 fortune point for this session each. So
Okay, cool.
he does swing.
I made it. Aha! He doesn't quite land though.
Nope. He swings, and how do you evade it?
Yeah. So I imagine it's quite a lumbering
Mm-hmm.
swing down as he kind of lifts off the ground a bit as he kind of almost hops up and lets his shield deflect it and push him to the side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just doing that to see why my noise isn't working. Give me 2 seconds. All right. Okay. 2 seconds. All right. So this guy's like, I gotta stop this bleeding. And he reaches up and takes this grass on the ground, just starts packing it in all these like wounds to kind of staunch the bleeding. That's his turn. I believe that's just a turn, isn't it? He doesn't have to.
Yeah, I think it's just an action basically.
So he staunches the bleeding to stop the rest of those coming out. Damn! And he moves a bit forward. And this guy's just hauling. Nah, I'm hungry. Okay, so end of turn. This guy takes 4 damage. He's bleeding badly. The guy next to Constable. Alright, you can change your actions if you so wish. Don't think anybody's going to.
Yep, I'm good on red.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. I forget. I've been forgetting my prayer boon for everybody. Sorry about that.
Praying for us.
I was like, oh yeah, I can just. It's a triggered action. I don't know, man. It's been a while. Yeah.
Especially with these characters.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's going?
Go ahead, Constable.
Okay. Yeah. close wounds. Oh yeah, I have a thing for it. So yeah, you guys see him kind of ready up his shield essentially, and kind of the flame from his core kind of spread out over the surface, and kind of some of the metal almost melts back in place. And I'll use close wounds. And so I'll heal my healing rate.
Okay.
Which, yeah, it's 5.
Get you down to 9 wounds. Total taken. Okay.
Alright, Ruthor, seeing the big bearded ogre gaining and getting closer, he's gonna attempt to give him I guess a shot. No, it's not gonna stop him.
That hits.
Nice.
It did not trigger your ability though. This time. This one just kind of nicks him on the side of the arm. He's like, bah! Alright. Dim.
My turn. Now, do you say that we're all getting a bonus boon?
I can apply it. So yeah, if you do like one that has an attack roll, I was gonna use it. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I have a spell here that I'm about to throw out. If I can use it, that'd be cool. It's a chaos colors or something like that. Let's see.
It is
Yeah, let me. Sorry.
color of magic. Yeah.
Yeah, if I can add
Yeah,
that
if it's
in.
got an attack roll, I can add a boon to it.
Yeah.
Here
Just,
we go.
yeah. I don't think this one actually has even an attack.
Oh yeah, it
to
doesn't even need it. Yeah.
Yeah. It just happens. All right. So it takes 1d6. Yeah. So you just does it evade? No, I don't think it does. So if you rolled an odd number on the damage die, which you did not, everything would have taken an extra 8 damage.
Oh, nice.
So hit these guys for 6. Just describe how this looks as this odd color spray kind of hits them.
Yeah, he's getting more and more frantic and pulls out a big ball of swirling colors and eyes wide, hurls it through him like a bowling ball. Starts laughing, but is not as happy when they are still standing.
They're covering their eyes. Ah! They're like kind of raking at their face. Tulip.
Yeah. So Tulip, go ahead and add a boon to your next attack.
Oh, cool. So Tulip will again aim at, I guess, Gursk again. And can hit another boon. Alright.
Sweet.
Okay, that kills them. How does that work?
Okay, so Tulip knocks her arrow and closes one eye. Just try and, aim, and she looks up, aims for his mouth, keeps talking, and fires the arrow, getting him right through, right into the mouth there, right up into the brain, and killing him dead right there.
Yeah, you're shooting up, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
tall.
just realized. I was like, oh yeah.
And he just like is reaching for his mouth. And just kind of topples over, and there's a big thud as he hits the ground. Guys, give me just a couple minutes here. I got a issue I gotta take care of.
Okay.
No problem.
Yeah, I back when I was testing some stuff with some of the newer material for Shadow of the Demon Lord, I realized one of the most insanely potent combinations in the game for Magic tradition is Order and Chaos.
Yeah.
Because using Order, you can control the roll numbers for Chaos meaning you can make it so that
Oh.
it goes the way you want. So you can max damage, and you can make it only hit enemies and stuff like that.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
It's hilarious. It's super, super potent.
Would my magic be able to work on Constable? My healing magic?
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah,
cool.
pretty much any healing magic, even potions, will work on Clockwork.
Nice.
Yeah, it just gets a little squeaky after a while.
Squeaky
Yeah.
work.
It's like a bit of pink discoloration and stuff. Like, oh, it's fine. It's just moth. Oh,
Bad man.
rust.
So Ruthor calls everybody orcs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He thinks everybody's a
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
dying when you said, "Is Constable a pretty common race?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, orcs are pretty much everywhere." In my head.
It all started with the failed in the very first one we played. It was me, Ghost, Ian, and it was Doc. I think it was Doc. And we got to the end, and Ghost's guy turned into an imp. And somebody said something, whatever, and I rolled my intelligence roll to see if I could see what it was. And I rolled a 1, so I just called him a funny-looking orc. So after that, everything's an orc,
That's cool.
except for the fat one. The fat one was a human. Yeah.
And Tulip's a halfling.
No.
No,
Is she? No, she's a small orc, isn't she?
She's a small orc.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's an orc.
Alright, I'm back. Okay, so Tulip shot, so it's, everybody's here, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so, the guy facing off against Constable is like, "Ah!" And he just rears back and swings in a sideways arc towards the Clockwork. Whiff.
Oh, he rolled a 1.
That's great.
It's a shame he doesn't have a halfling friend.
And he
Oh,
just
he's too far.
he just
Oh, no.
misses, right? Just over your head, just misjudging it from the pain of everything. And one more ogre to go. He's like, ah, ah! And just rushes through these trees and just busts it out of the way as it's coming at you with a morning star. That's his turn. Double move.
Ah!
And it's your turn. Give this guy his damage. His damage.
Right.
Okay.
Time to smush the boy. So, you guys see Constable, kind of bring his blade kind of closer to his core as the flames kind of begin to wrap around it, and he, as it glows with burning light, he then strikes forward. And I'm gonna use. I have my buttons. I'm gonna use mighty attack. But I'm going to use my prayer boon as well, and I'm going to use divine smite. So I will expend an augment attack to add a d6 damage.
Okay.
So mighty attack, extra boon. Oh,
Yeah.
and an extra d6.
Yeah.
So that'll be a nice fat 19 damage.
Yeah. How does that
As
look?
he brings the burning blade through his knees, up from below, kind of through his knees, and as he kind of falls down onto them, the horrible popping, snapping noise of him landing on them after, he brings the blade up and kind of just leaves his head only dangling from the back, cauterized shut.
He doesn't even have time to say anything. It's such a horrific death.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ruthor seeing this big bearded guy coming through, he's gonna drop his bow and arrow and run at him and pull his axe from his I guess it would be like a scaffold in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And do one of those flying, leaping axe strike things that you only see in movies.
Yeah, you swing and he just bats it away with his morning star, this humongous morning star. He looks down at Dimble and licks his lips.
I'm gonna call. Dimble's gonna cast Earth Spike underneath him.
Mm-hmm. Will attack roll versus agility. That's a hit. Success. Takes 1d6 damage, so he takes 3 damage. And he falls prone, which is the important part.
Nice. I love spells that target agility. At least against big angry things.
Alright, Tulip.
And Tulip will again knock an arrow and fire at the ogre on the ground.
Hit. 8.
Looks like 8.
Yeah, he's on the ground, just kind of fumbling around. You just stick one into his back. Ah! Ah! And all he can do is get up. And then blow action next turn, so he gets up. And I'm guessing, well, maybe one of you might want to do a... Yeah. Alright, quick actions go first.
Go for it, Ruthor.
Ruthor getting batted away by Morningstar, stumbling. Comes back in for another vicious swing.
Oh my. Only 2
Oh, is
damage though.
That
Nice.
a 1? That's a 1.
Reroll it. Reroll your d6. Well, 3 damage.
That's something.
You're gonna get a bleed on him though. It takes 3. 31. Alright. Attack. Yep, so 1d6 first for your extra damage. 5.
Ooh.
Alright, roll 1d3 twice. So, okay. There's 2 bleed for 2 rounds. Yeah, you hit him good. How does that look? As he's standing up, you really thwack him.
Not being batted away by Morningstar too greatly. Musters all the strength he's got in his whole bones. Narrows his eyes, bares his teeth, charges in, roar, and gives him a nice little chunk out of him.
Alright, Dimble.
Dimble's gonna throw another erratic bolt.
Okay.
Actually, no. Let me do the Earth Spike again underneath him.
Yep.
And I can add a boon to this one?
Oh, I already. Oh, yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah,
you
it's a
can.
new round.
Yeah, I haven't used it yet.
There we go.
That's a hit. 2 damage, and he falls prone again. It's like sticks him in the foot. He begins hopping, kind of almost comically, right? And it's like tilts over and crashes to the ground. My foot!
Ups and downs, ups and downs.
And again, Tulip will knock her arrow and fire at the squirming
That's a hit.
ogre. And
Nice.
so the target number, hey.
And that is... That kills him.
Oh. Alright. So, again, she brings back the arrow pretty far, right to her ear, draws it, and lets it fire. And as he is kind of laying around, rolling around, squirming, she gets him right in the ear and pierces and goes all the way through to the other.
You get him in the ear, and it just sticks through his massive head. You can barely see the feathers on one side, or the fletching, and the arrow tip out the other. And there is only the sound of the running water afterwards.
Dimble bounces up and down, all excited. Yeah! And he's gonna kind of jump off of the ogre's dead body, do a little roll there,
It was perfect.
and a little cartwheel thing, and yeah! Look at that! We took him down, didn't we?
Constable kind of jitteringly, slowly meanders his way over there, stabbing Gersk in the head with his sword just in case on the way, and then doing the same when he gets over to the other one.
The better question is why were they chasing you?
His smile goes away, and he's like, oh no. Grandma. Where's Grandma? I gotta find Grandma now. I led them away, I did. I led them away from Grandma. They would have squashed us all and eaten us by now.
Grandma.
Where did you come from?
I came from a land far away where the winter is eating it all up. We're looking for the warm place.
I think you're here now.
7 of us were there back then. And now there was only me and Grandma.
Oh. Maybe
Well, I
we
guess-
should go
I
find
guess it's
Grandma.
me.
Where is this grandma at?
I left Grandma back there in the woods. Well, Grandma went that way and I went this way.
Well, let's go back that way then. Let's go find her.
And she'll
Constable nods with an audible squeak.
Needs oiling again.
Yes. Too much water.
Well, thank you
Blessings.
so much. Thank you so much for helping me.
We aren't just gonna let you die.
A heck of a team we make.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your name again? Dimble.
I'm Dimble at your service. He offers a little bow.
Oh, don't worry, Dimble. We take in all types of orcs.
Orcs, huh?
Yeah, that's what he calls everyone. I'm Tulip.
I am Constable.
And this wrinkled old orc you see in front of you is Ruthor.
Well met to you all. I suppose I would have been ogre food if I wouldn't have ran across you.
Most likely.
I think I might have lost my voice screaming for help in the woods.
Yeah, screaming does that. I tried to avoid it.
I do not have vocal cords.
That's all right. It's around here somewhere.
So
And he'll try to look around for his tracks or some way back towards that direction.
Yeah, Dimble leads the rest of you back towards where he had left Grandma. He finds this place overlooking the valley, and it begins to rain, as it often does here. But there's no sign of Grandma. And this is where he's pretty sure he left her.
I can't tell you which way she went. I don't know.
Oh, hopefully she didn't run into Meepa.
And
Mm.
Tulip will actually thought a little bit.
Oh, then you're not wrong.
Indeed.
Oh no. Who's Meepa?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Short little orc with a strange diet.
Oh no. This isn't good.
It's okay. Find her.
Yeah, Constable starts traipsing through the area quite loudly as usual. Kind of looking for anything that sticks out.
Ruthor's just looking around for tracks.
Mm.
As you are on this hill, kind of looking around, you hear this sound of heavy footfalls. And as your eyes kind of gaze down, you see this, looks like 20 men, all in heavy-ish armor, marching towards what you guys would assume is your village.
Is this the fat man's army?
Oh no.
This is
Holy boo.
The witch is supposed to stop him from coming to us.
Yeah, maybe. We should go back, but
And she looks over to Dimble.
Yeah, Dimble's been like hurriedly trying to find any tracks if he could on which way she might have gone or
Yeah.
Grandma might have gone.
Give me an intellect check with a boon.
ooh, and a boon from prayer.
Still praying.
Yeah.
Oh, so two
Gotta
boons.
believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you see some tracks. It's kind of a mismatch of things, right? You're not sure because this is where ogres did stomp through here as well. So some things are knocked over, but you see some tracks going further into the woods. You're not sure if it's Grandma's or multiple tracks. It's hard to tell. Something goes away from here, away from where these guys are marching to.
Dimble gets excited and quietly points at it over and over again. This might be it. This might be Grandma. Let's go this way.
And Tulip will look down towards the men marching.
well, what if they get there before we find her? The others don't know.
I think the others would hear them. I am not sure, though, they would be wise enough to flee.
I don't think Gazek will ever flee anything.
No, my son is a brave fool.
Mm.
Perhaps if we try to find this Grandma, we can make it back in time to avert the catastrophe.
Well, let's give it another. Well, how long do you think it would take us to get back if we ran?
Constable has no sense of direction, so not the person to ask. He kind of looks around and kind of tilts his head a bit, trying to figure out where we are.
Dimble peeks back from around a tree. Are you coming? Grandma knows all sorts of stuff. Very wise. She's supposed to help this place.
Oh, let's go find this grandma and hope Gazek doesn't start problems.
Hopefully.
Oh, that
Alright.
Meepa.
Well,
Mm. Let's go.
So if that Ruthor will start walking towards the way Dimble went.
Mm.
Yeah, Ruthor picks up the trail fairly easily as a hunter. It grows dark by the time you find where this trail goes. You have to switch back several times because of the rain skirting the trail in some areas. Hold on.
Sneak peek.
Oh, I liked it.
Lordy. You come up upon what you can see in the distance is a red glow through the trees. And as you get closer, it's clear it goes into the side of a tangled mess of brush, thick trees, thick shrubs. It's not a mountainside so much as going into some sort of overly dense forest. Tulip and Ruthor are the ones that mostly have traveled this area more extensively, and none of you have been out here.
Unfamiliar.
I don't really. This. Are you sure she went this way?
I'm not sure. What is that light up there?
And Tulip will slide up next to Constable and kind of put a hand on his leg.
Mm.
he has his shield out like usual and kind of reaches down and puts a hand on her head, and that kind of warmth begins kind of flowing out again. Do not fear.
This place is kind of scary, if you ask me.
Let's maybe. I don't want to say go towards the light, but seems appropriate.
That's where we go.
Very well.
Dimble will kind of edge forward, trying to hide and remain quiet as possible, like a little squirrel.
Ruthor not being so sneaky, just kind of plows through.
Yeah. Tulip will actually sneak as well, being half decent at it.
Constable doesn't understand the I mean, like, he understands the concept, but the capability just isn't there. He will make an attempt, but the gist of it is squatting a little bit for him. So
Why don't you all give me agility rolls?
yeah, I'll use prayer on myself to give me half a chance. Yeah, no.
Dimple and Tulip.
It's almost as if we have two stompy people and two
Yeah.
not so stompy people.
The halfling and the other creature, which you don't really know what is, Not maybe another halfling, hard to know, but doesn't quite look like you, Tulip. He's more stunted than you, with a smaller head, bigger nose, sharper ears, strange eyes. The two of you peek inside and are able to crawl forward as this opening grows smaller and smaller. Ruthor and Constable, try as they may, are clumsy as they go through, their equipment rattling around and doing everything they can to alert anyone inside of your presence, it sounds like.
I'm too old for this sneaking.
Just try to stay quiet. Just think quiet thoughts.
You think quiet thoughts, but no quiet thoughts come.
I like the idea. It just pans in on Constable's head, and there's just fire.
You walk through this red light, which changes in color slightly to purple as you see these rocks burning.
Oh.
Dimble whispers rhymes to himself when he gets nervous.
Burning rocks.
As you get closer behind a rock and you see a strange scene in front of you, you see a woman that doesn't look so different from Dimble, only old, with long braided hair. She is laying face down on this, whatever it is, altar. You see a man, maybe, doesn't look so unlike Dimble or grandmother or even Tulip. He has a staff raised above his head, and there is a sheen, a bubble, that covers he and the old woman and another, perhaps 10 feet above him and to the ground, and 10 feet to all sides. And then in the middle, a woman, bluish of skin with a crown. She has golden paint on her eyes. She is on her knees. The odd thing, well, odder than that, is that they all seem to be stuck, not moving, as if they were stone, but clearly they are flesh and blood. There's an eerie feeling of dread in this place, which seems out of place from the outside world where you had just walked into.
Dimble stops, and he's just kind of shocked, standing there and pointing towards the older woman. And he
sword out now.
and his kind of mouth's agape, but he whispers his rhyme loud enough so everybody can hear it. We once were many as winter ate the outskirts of the Briar Gate. Our home did freeze with icy rush, a happy home, my plum brush. So then we left in search of warm through coldest dark and snowy storm. Something pitch I know awaits at the end of our ill fate. We left our home as 7 strong, but shadowed followed all along. There once were 7 way back when, but now just Dimble in the end. And he kind of fears that she's like dead or something, so he's like worried about walking over there and touching her.
You could have done this.
Constable is wondering the same thing. He's like on the spot, sword at the ready, shield up, kind of scanning the room with his eyes.
I don't see nobody.
Well, maybe
Something
we
is off.
The bubble. What is it?
Only one way.
my
Constable starts walking up to it.
Oh, careful.
Dimble does too, as he like notices Constable's moving. He gets a little bit more brave.
And Tulip takes out her bow just in case.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
She has a point, Constable. Let me throw my axe at it.
Yeah.
Very well.
We'll see what happens. So with that, Ruthor will pull out his axe. Not aiming at anybody. Just kind of wants to see if it'll go through the bubble. And then over his head tosses it.
You throw it end over end, and the axe strikes this bubble, this translucent, shimmering field, and it bounces off as if you had thrown it against the wall and drops with a clatter to the ground.
Some kind of shield almost.
Yes.
Tulip start walking a little bit forward.
Constable keeps up towards the front, watching for anything in the shadows as he approaches it.
Ruthor will go over and pick his axe back up and look at it.
Yeah, it appears to be as it was before.
Well, a wall.
Dimble starts to search through his grimoire. There's gotta be something. There's gotta be something in here. Something I can do.
And Tulip will walk up to the bubble and take out an arrow and kind of poke the end of the arrow at the bubble.
The field resists as if it were some solid object. Has no give. It has no elasticity. It is hard as a rock.
Maybe something around here, something deeper. Well, it won't happen.
Perhaps.
Is there like cabin ways going different directions?
It's hard to tell from here. You have to walk around the bubble. It doesn't appear that it really goes anywhere. With further inspection, you can tell that behind this altar is a very huge drop off into the ground, into nothingness.
Constable, I imagine he always carries a torch.
Yeah, it's fine.
Kind of light one and toss it into the pit. Essentially.
Constable tosses the torch into the pit, and he sees it goes down and down and down until he doesn't see it any longer. If the flame is still burning when it gets to the bottom, he does not see it any longer.
Well,
Let's not go down there.
That would be wise.
Dimble will walk over to the bubble and like try to stare at Grandma and kind of read their faces. Do they have like a face of shock or anything like that?
You can't
Or
see
perhaps maybe.
You can't see Grandma's face as she's laying on the ground face down. Her
Ah.
arms are splayed out to her, not side, but kind of in each direction, 45 degrees, as if she kind of fell, maybe. Queen Victoria, or the woman, you see her eyes are closed, her lips are pursed, as if she's concentrating. The other man, quote unquote, has his staff held high, and he looks quite shocked, a look of panic, maybe fear on his face, but the other two, that you can tell, he's the only one that has any clear signs of distress.
Dimble will look back to the others, questionable look on his face. Perhaps some magic failed him and locked him like this.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
You said there were like. Did you say there were glowing rocks around, or?
As you see those purple rocks, that's what you see.
So Tulip goes over to the purple rocks there, and she pokes one again with her arrow.
You poke the rock, and it seems to be a fairly mundane thing as far as what it feels like. It actually shifts, and when you poke it, it's oddly enough kind of cracks free from the ground and kind of falls over to its side, still shining purple.
She's gonna pick it up with her hand.
You pick it up and it feels warm to the touch. Go ahead and give me a will roll. No boons, no banes.
Hoo-hoo.
Yeah, it seems odd. You kind of look at the rock again and notice it's more translucent than you had thought before. Kind of similar to the bubble, but not exactly. You see something kind of swirling inside the rock.
Kind of looks closely at it, seeing if she can see what's in there.
It just looks like mist or it's hard to tell.
Yeah, so she takes it over to the bubble.
Oh, maybe it's like key or something?
And she touches the bubble with the rock, see if it does anything.
You touch the bubble with the rock, it does not do anything. It is pushed back like anything else. Guys, sorry, give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, alright.
Okay.
I'm thinking about this spell. But then, are there any kind of like wild magic areas in this game that you know of, or? I mean, I guess there could be.
Yeah.
It's all wild magic.
Yeah.
Ever since the imp turned it cold.
It doesn't seem like they died in combat.
Maybe something like took him.
Perhaps.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'd be expecting if there's a creature or something caused it, or a person that would be still here.
If I cast this spell, rock henchman What if I tried that on a crystal?
Nice. There you go.
They're not rocks, they're minerals, Murray.
Oh my. Oh, that's funny. Say mineral henchman, does it?
All right. Sorry about that. All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Okay. Yeah, you push the rock against the bubble, and it does nothing.
Oh, I could try it.
She throws the mineral down, or rock.
The mineral. It's a shiny rock.
Don't eat it.
When it hits the ground, you notice that it's quite fragile and shatters, and the mist kind of seeps out of the cracks and rises up into the top of the cavern and appears to dissipate.
Oh. Maybe if we smash these, it could work.
Or it could be bad.
True. Could release something.
Constable looks around, not seeing anything else. I suppose there is nothing else.
I'll smash away.
Dimble says, wait, let me try it. And he's going to cast Rock Henchman on one of those crystals.
All right. You cast Rock Henchman, and this thing slowly turns into this standing, walking thing that appears to be a very small construct. It looks like this except purple. And it just kind of looks blankly at Dimble.
Dimble points towards the bubble. Can you open that, please?
You see its eyes look blue as normal, but sometimes flashes purple. It walks over to the bubble and looks at it up and down, takes its hand, punches it once, and does nothing. And looks back to Dimble.
Dimble looks to the rest and he says, well, that's not it.
Well, I suppose then he looks at Tulip.
I guess I can get to smashing.
He does like the best, closest thing he can get to a shrug as he goes over and starts stomping some of the smaller ones.
And Tulip will do the same. Just kicking him over, enjoying it a little bit too much.
There's no way I can communicate telepathically with this thing, is it?
Yeah, it kind of like, yes, you can. It will obey your command.
Like by asking him what this is or what it is, or...
Yeah, it doesn't have really any meaningful intelligence.
Right.
It just... It doesn't know. If it does, it can't really relate that to you. Just follow
Yeah, Dimble, while they're smashing stuff, will start looking around for any clues on the ground or anything written on the stones or walls or anything.
Go ahead and give me an intellect roll. Yeah, I'm gonna share. share this with you. You see this symbol carved deep into the rock above the stones.
Dimble points his finger up there. Hey guys, look at that. What does that symbol mean?
That looks familiar.
Very familiar.
Do you think this is where the witch put it?
Perhaps.
Possible.
And what are these crystals?
And she'll
Yeah.
stop stomping.
And as you stomp the last one, each of them holds this mist that rises up and floats to the top of the cavern. But you notice that at the top it seems to be lingering, as if mists are forming with one another. And suddenly, it begins to take a shape.
Uh-oh.
The eyes burn bright blue. It has a maul of shadowy teeth and a chain that dangles from its neck. My slumber has ended. And it floats above you, looking down.
And who might you be?
I do not remember my name. They call me the Architect.
And what are you the architect of?
Winter. Cold. Everlasting.
Well, how did you, go for a nap in the first place?
Interlopers.
Interlopers. Odd. The last thing I saw that controlled the winter was hanging on a tree.
I don't know what you're speaking of.
I'm speaking of the reason why there's been years of winter.
It has started then.
What has started?
Forever winter.
Oh,
We really don't want that, though.
yeah, it's not very good. Maybe, we can come to an agreement.
Can you stop it?
Perhaps. Why would you want to stop such beauty?
Well, it's not very good for some of us to live in.
Any of us.
Yeah.
Thing looks down towards those beneath him in the bubble, and then back to you. I feel wonderful. I feel the power of the snow, the ice, the cold. But this place must be transformed at last. One last thing to fall.
Well, I mean, I don't think we can let that happen. Kinda nice here.
Yeah, there's a fire burning bright in Constable's eyes towards this thing as he listens.
We kinda need it to be warm in order to live. And if it's cold, we'll all die.
Yeah.
But I will die when the sun burns the brightest. How may I survive?
Can you not go to maybe another part of the world that's wintry? There's quite a lot that's not here.
This is my home.
Well, unfortunately, your winter has moved us from our homes into your home. So now it's our home as well.
I wish to live here.
Hey,
What
go ahead.
what happened to them? And Dimble will point to the bubble.
Fools, interlopers set traps so that I would not be released. You came, and their trap was already sprung. Lucky for you, and lucky for me.
Oh, being the ones who released you and all, couldn't you do this one favor for us and maybe find another place to live?
No. There is one choice. I must experience the cold. I cannot leave this place. I need to stay. His eyes brighten almost to where it causes you to have to look away. It's so bright. It's like looking at, sun on the snow.
Yeah, Constable flares into this. If you will not cease this winter, then you shall cease. He kind of readies himself.
He's kinda laughing.
Dimble starts stepping back to look for something stalagmite to hide behind.
And Tulip draws an arrow.
This is our home. You're unwelcome here.
This was my home many eons before yours. And the whole cavern begins to tremble.
Ruthor will look at Constable and look at the blue being. What Constable said is true. If you don't yield and stop this cold, there'll be no quarter for you. I'd rather live with everyone quiet, peaceful. I will not let you remove this from us.
You have no choice, mortals.
Kind of begins to disappear just slightly, the chains rattling.
You said disappear?
Yeah, he's just kind of going more and more, fading slightly.
Yeah, Constable's gonna try and unleash a flame towards him.
Go ahead.
Yeah, with this fire blast. Unleash a cone of flame up into him.
The flame strikes the thing in the chest, but passes through it and scorches the top of the cavern.
Curious.
And then kind of hovers down slightly.
I will make a bargain with you.
A bargain?
I wish to see
Bargain.
this fire, this sun. There is only one way.
This thing's mouth turns into what you kind of perceive as a smile.
And what is this way?
My ethereal form shall take one of you forever. I will walk where you walk. I will know what you will know. I will think what you will think. You will have my strength, my power. When I wish it, I shall take your body as my own. You will live forever and feel the warmth of the cold, the night, the sting of the ice in your veins. You will have your summers, and I will have you.
Very well. As Constable kind of sheaths his sword and steps forward.
Ruthor will stop him and look at him. You are timeless, friend.
Indeed.
My time is near.
Are you sure you would take this up?
It'll stop the cold. We'll have our summers. And you can watch over Tulip and young Isaac.
I'm sorry.
But your fate will not be kind. You should live as it was meant to be. I am metal and fire. You are flesh and blood. You were not meant to feel the cold the way I cannot.
This is true. But I feel in the long run, it won't matter how much I feel of this cold. I wouldn't, and I don't fear it. What I do fear Is everything ending? Then everything was for naught.
This will not end in the same way. The fire will burn on in you, through you, and into another. But for me, there is only eternal fire and steel. This one, as he kind of turns towards the thing, would just be another housed in the cage.
Yes. But I do fear what it could do to you. And then after that, what it could do to us.
Constable shakes his head. You have nothing to fear. This will bring balance, cold and warm, light and dark, fire and ice. It will bring peace from war.
Then if you wish to be its vessel, I will not stop you.
Constable hands kind of pulls out his strange undead slaying sword and kind of just in case, and offers it to Ruthor.
The shield's fading.
As you're talking, you notice there's slight movement from the people inside the bubble. Like they're in extreme slow motion.
Dimble will turn towards him. Grandmother! Grandmother! Can you hear me?
She doesn't respond. But
Quick
it looks like
now.
she's attempting to get to her knees.
Before they see what happens, he makes sure Ruthor takes the blade and then approaches the thing. It is time then.
Then you're willing to extend your flame, extinguish it with the gold that you will become.
We shall see if the flame does not burn on.
It floats down in front of you as those inside the bubble to stir. It turns into a wisp again, entering into your eyes and various spots between your metal burning heart. For a moment, you don't notice much of anything. And then you feel something you've never felt before. Cold. For those that are looking at Constable, they see his eyes flicker. That red glow dimming ever so slowly until it turns to an icy blue and peers forth. Inside his metal body, Constable feels himself shivering, if that were possible. Although it's not displayed to others, it is something inside him. He feels very strange, as though he's changed. There is something in the back of his mind speaking to him advising him. For those outside, this mark upon the tree glows bright blue, shimmers, and as finally the shield disappears and grandmother gets to her feet and turns.
No, Dimble! There you are. I was just...
And then she looks to the woman next to her and the other strange man, and
I don't know who these are.
and they look at her dumbfounded and you dumbfounded. And the building begins to, the cave begins to shake violently.
We gotta leave, guys.
Let's get out of here. He'll run over and help Grandma up, or help her if he can.
Constable still in control for the time being?
Yep. Yeah, you're still in control.
Yeah, Constable, you guys kind of see moving his arms, like opening and closing, the loud creaking of his hands. We must go.
Yeah. Are you okay, Constable?
He looks to Tulip, and the mouth kind of cracks slightly, the kind of expression he makes when he makes a smile, essentially. The flame is gone, but the fire remains. And he puts a hand on her head and takes his sword back from Ruthor and kind of motions everybody to follow.
Yeah, Tulip follows behind, looking back at the other two. They've also woken up, making sure they're following.
They look at each other, surprised that the cavern is rocking too badly to really say much. I would like everyone to give me an agility roll with a bang.
Whoa. Yeah, I'll
Remember, you have fortune points to spend.
yeah, I might end up doing that. Let's give myself a prayer boon. Just really hope hard. Oh, yeah.
Hope so hard.
Is
Oh my
that?
Oh.
Can we use that fortune point to
Yeah,
delete
you
that?
would immediately succeed. That's what it does.
There you go.
So
Yeah, that's probably the time.
yeah, the cavern is shaking and you're having a hard time staying on your feet, but you rush through the cavern and are able to escape out the strange doorway and the red light behind you. After a few moments, it goes dark, leaving you outside in the cold.
Is everybody okay? Everybody make it out?
Yeah. Okay.
This woman that is with you rubs her forehead. What is this nonsense? Humbert, you told me this was the place. The place for the secrets. To drive back winter from our home. That's what was foretold. That was what was foretold. She just and turns away and looks at all of you and just frowns deeply. They found it too. Found nothing. Come, Humbert. Back to our lands and our men. We will take this place yet. She looks at all of you.
Constable bears his blade. You must go nowhere. You would turn your armies on us.
Constable, will you give me a willpower with 2 banes?
Alrighty. And I'll make it. I'll drop it to 1 with prayer.
Okay.
Ooh.
Woohoo!
Okay. I'm gonna whisper you something.
Alrighty.
I am bringing my armies to this place for salvation. For the salvation of my people.
Aren't you gonna wipe out everyone else here when you bring your people?
Bend the knee, halfling.
Isn't this the one where the fat one came from?
I think it is.
Tulip sneers.
You do not own this land. There is no bending the knee. Your people seek warmth and shelter, and they are welcome. But it is not yours.
Perhaps with time, the fire shall thaw the ice. But for now, this land is ours.
She frowns, but realizes perhaps that she is at a disadvantage.
And what would you have me do then? Traipse along with you?
Come in peace and not war, and we can find balance. Have respect for those who came before you.
She frowns deeply.
I suppose we will need to get rid of the witch. She's the one that attacked my lands.
What'd she
What?
know?
What witch are you guys talking about?
She is the protector of this land.
Protector, you said? I know her very well. She's my sister. An outcast. A horror.
She was to protect us from your legion, but has failed.
She
We
did
shall
not
see
fail.
if you are better.
She left.
What?
Yes. She went to one of the Crusader states, hoping to turn it. Said she had the gift of summer. That is what I have heard from my spies.
You say that witch has the gift of summer?
It is unknown. She said she did. She showed me that mark. It was in the cave.
Yes, I know that mark well.
What did she say about it?
She said that whoever bore the mark brought summer, brought warmth, like this place, and that is why she was here, and that is why this place is not like everything else.
Then perhaps you had best leave. The mark is gone.
What about her mark? It was on her body.
Then perhaps the worm shall follow her.
She looks over at the And perhaps you're right.
Yes, bring your armies to her. This place might soon be winter. There's no point in you bringing anyone here.
Very well. If you will let me retire from this place and leave.
Oh, we could do better than that. We'll escort you straight to your army, since it is at our town.
Is it?
Yes, for the second time.
She looks so humble. Very well. Show me to this town.
Alright.
Follow us.
It takes you an hour or two to get back. The slippery stream. Dimple, this is all new to you. And Grandma. Grandma seems quite silent, far more silent than she's used to, or than you're used to from her. She's quite talkative. You get to where Slippery Stream is about dawn, and you're overlooking the town. And switches. Where Slippery Stream was before is no more. Destroyed. The fires are, the homes are burnt. Any stone structures are laid to waste. There are a few men dead here and there. And Ruthor, you see in the middle of the town a large pile of bodies surrounding one body in the middle.
Ruthor will quickly head towards that one body in the middle.
You see, as you're passing soldiers, mostly they're hewn and arms and limbs taken off. And in the middle, you see a young orc, bigger than you, stronger than you, with a double axe in his hands. Many injuries over his body, arrows sticking out everywhere. His throat has been slit. One of his arms are half cut off. And he lays dead. Your only son.
As Ruthor gets closer, he's gonna slow down and kind of flabbergasted look in his eyes. Go kneel by Gazek. Remain silent for a minute. Kneel. My son. My son. Kind of a distraught look goes over his face. Died brave like a true orc. But you deserved better than this. I failed you. And he quickly start resisting his son. Pet one of the remains of his arms kind of on his chest. Petting his axe with him. He'll kind of look around, not knowing what he's looking for. I'm lost. You can't lay here like this.
And Tulip will come up behind Ruthor and gently touch his arm.
Ruthor, I'm sorry.
He'll look over at Tulip. He has a look of anger and distraught at the same time. He can't be here like this.
No. Where does he need to go?
He needs to be burned like a true warrior.
Oh. Burn him.
Is the queen still with us?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Tulip will turn around and look at her. The hatred just burning in her eyes.
First, make one responsible pay.
Ruthor turn and look at the queen.
Constable's still back over by them. You guys see that cold gaze cast over the village, seeing Gazak.
Yes, first. And with that, Ruthor will start walking back towards where the group's at, where the queen's at.
As you walk back towards the queen, she's standing there. She looks expressionless. And
Ruthor will, as he's walking, pull out his axe.
wait. And she smiles. And something happens. Oops. In front of you, it isn't as you expected. Why isn't this the visage changes in front of you, and only Ruthor recognizes this one image. Did you think I died all those?
A funny orc. I remember your betrayal. And yet you'd cut me deeper.
Did your boy die well?
And it looks past you and smiles.
Oh, he died better than you're gonna.
A final death before winter comes. At last. You are a foolish thing. It is almost here now. The witch has been fooled. Soon she will die in battle. And winter will come to her.
Well, too bad you won't be here to see it. And with that, he's gonna turn into a full sprint, heading towards winter.
Constable's there, his blade behind Winter, like ready to stop him if he flees.
He doesn't. How do you... He just kind of closes his eyes and smiles and crosses his arms over his chest, putting his hands on his shoulders, just waiting for the coup de grace.
Ruthor would be more than happy to give it to him. He's gonna swing back with his axe as he's charging and give it the mightiest of blows he can.
How does that look as you do that?
He bares his teeth, his eyes narrow with anger. And this is the second time this thing has gotten the best of him. And he swings downward and hits him right between the neck and the shoulder. And then he pulls it back out and puts his foot on the Winter and pulls the axe back out and swings again. And he'll do this for good measure. And just keep hacking.
The childlike, translucent, sort of looking bluish hued skin creature is chopped to pieces when his body rolls over. It seems to look into the sky at least. There's a smile on its face.
No, is that Archmage still there?
Yeah, he's just kind of standing there looking. What is this? Where's my queen?
Your queen.
My queen, Queen Victoria. What is this creature?
Apparently, this funny-looking orc was your queen.
Just falls to his knees. It's to sob. Wait, I don't understand this.
There's no understanding. Just death.
Yes.
We must go. If the witch dies, as he said, winter may come.
And what are we to do with this Archmage?
Kill him quick.
No. He was but a pawn. Perhaps, he kind of looks at the Archmage, he will remember and learn from this.
I don't think he'll have a choice. He's one of us now.
Dimble kind of shakes his head, mouth agape, and he's looking over at your grandmother. He's like, what is going on? Who is this?
I don't know. That was.
How did you end up with these people?
I did not. I was there looking for the secret. And they came in behind me. Must have followed me. Dimble, I'm sorry. I don't know. That was a changeling there. And she waves her hand at the dead Winter who hit Ruthor called Winter. Yes, but I came and what I knew is that there were spirits here, powerful spirits. And they were the source of all this winter. I did not
Constable
find
kind of
them.
approaches them. Go ahead.
No, good.
What do you mean?
The spirits says they've been looking for an escape from this place. To leave. This winter is a false winter. That is my belief. But if one of these spirits would ever leave this place, wherever they are, I thought they were in that cave, well, then true winter would come. This false winter will pass, I think. She looks around. It was not even strong enough for this place. It will fade in time.
And if it were sealed within a body,
Sealed within a body. Possessed, you mean?
yes,
I believe that is how they would try to escape.
but if it were contained, would winter come?
Well, and she kind of grabs her double chin and is like pacing back and forth. And, sorry, he said, I read the stratagems. I don't know. I don't know. I would have to study, read more, and find more things to read, and it's hard going. And she's just rambling.
Then you must do so. For now, he turns to Ruthor.
You can't leave with us, Constable.
Perhaps. But it is too late. It is sealed. And I, its guardian, so long as I seize control, it is contained.
But once we leave here, if you lose control,
He shakes his head. No. Even if I were to stay, if I were to lose control, this was the only way, or it would have left simply enough.
Dimble will be over there filling grandmother in. You know, he says, I have to tell you something. And then he's going to go over there and tell her what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, her mouth is agape, just like looking at Constable very nervously.
well, we can address that when it's time.
There's another option.
She speaks up.
Constable turns.
You are
And
a clockwork,
yes,
They are good people. They saved me. They helped us.
Yes. Yes, I created a clockwork once. Many, many, many years ago.
She kind of looks him over.
What I know about these things, they sink quite rapidly. Yes, I wonder if you plummeted to the bottom of the sea, even if it escaped, would it simply freeze the ocean? Would that be the end of it?
Perhaps. That may work. But if the ocean did not freeze, it would simply escape.
Maybe we need to look forward. I would need to study more.
Indeed, we must find a way to seal me or send me far enough that winter will not come.
Yes. Yes. We need to read. We need to find more things. Dimble, we'll have to go. We will have to find libraries. Large libraries. Are you ready? Are you ready to come with grandmother once again?
Well, first we must tend to his son.
Yes.
Yes.
Constable begins walking towards Gazek.
He needs a pyre.
He
Let's build one.
already has one. He motions to the pile of bodies Gazek stacked there.
That would be fitting.
They are but kindling.
Ruthor will look at the Archmage. You there.
Yes.
Come, help.
Yes, of course.
Gets over and kind of walks towards the pyre and then stops at Tulip and looks down at her.
It is good to see one of my own kind. It has been many years. I wished it was under better circumstance.
And Tulip will kind of look over Archmage Humbert there with wide eyes.
This is the first time I've met anyone else like me.
What do you mean?
I am the only halfling I knew.
There are not many of us left, girl.
I've heard.
Well, perhaps we will talk later.
Sorry for trying to kill you.
I'm sorry for what has happened here. I would not have...
Shakes his head and his beard kind of dangles back and forth.
Well then, to your friend.
Yeah, so just stack the pyre, and she'll help move the bodies.
Yeah. Constable will kind of motion for Ruthor to bring Gazek.
And he'll attempt the best he can to move all of Gazek on top of the bodies. May they be your servants in the afterlife, son.
Yes. And by the fire be cleansed. And that you'll see Constable kind of spread his hands apart, and kind of that faint cinder kind of within his eyes here and there again, as flames begin to climb up from the bodies from nothing and overtake the pyre.
And as the flames start burning, Tulip will reach back into her pocket and take out the crumpled note and toss it in the fire.
Yes. Now look at Tulip. The fire does cleanse.
Cleanse.
Now we mourn for your people. The only man you knew to be your father and my son.
Those that died return to the earth, as we do when we fade from this world. It is our transition that creates sorrow for most people. Do not fret, my people say, do not shed tears, for they have worry no more for the pain of this world.
I will not shed tears. Just blood.
Yes. Just blood.
Blood and fire. And then another voice kind of echoes somewhere deep within from his mouth. And ice.
Has a ring to it.
And you stand around this pyre that burns hot, of dead flesh burning, and finally Gazik's own body catching on fire. You stand there for a long time watching as this pyre overtakes Gazik and eventually returns their bodies to dust and leaving only bones. In the distance, many, many leagues away, a army of savages and strange men attack a large city. And then somewhere else in the land, you see a pile of books, hundreds, in the library. And Grandma flipping through as you see the future, looking for a cure. But as the days and the months and the years pass, the winter finally does recede. This false winter, as Grandma had called it. And although millions had died from starvation or worse, and the land was soft and ruined from the cold, there was only one thing that could cause it to come back, and it was Constable. But for many years, long past when Ruthor, Tulip, and Dimble, grandmother, had all expired, he remained, his fire burning bright, bright enough to keep the cold inside at bay. And that is it.
Yeah.